Hello and welcome. This is Bijan Hushiar. This internetwork is configured with correct IPv4 addresses. Routing is configured to allow end-to-end connectivity. Our objective is to create IPv4 extended named access control list to allow PC1A to establish Telnet connection to router 1 and to allow PC1B to establish SSH connection with router 1. No other device should be able to Telnet or SSH to router 1. Additionally, we want to configure R2 and R3 for no remote access. No device is going to be allowed to either establish SSH or Telnet to those two routers. First, we are going to configure router 1. We are going to configure router 1 in a way that it allows PC1A to establish Telnet connection with it, but not SSH, and to allow PC1B to establish SSH connection with it, but not Telnet. For that, we need to know the IPv4 addresses of PC1A and PC1B. PC1A's IPv4 address is 192.168.1.1, and PC1B's IPv4 address is 192.168.1.2. We access the router command line interface. We go to privilege mode. We perform show IP interface brief to display the IPv4 addressing that is configured on the router 1. We also perform show run pipe include user name to verify that we have created a user named Bob with the secret of, this one is a secret. This is the encryption form of the secret that we created for Bob. We gave Bob secret as the secret. We need that for Telnet connection. Bob is the username. His secret or his password is secret also. Also, I'm going to perform this command to display part of the running config to verify that we have created a domain called domain. We need to create a domain. We need to create a user with a password. We need to rename the router to something. In here, we named it R1. Those are a requirement for SSH connection. Also, it is required to create or to generate an RSA key length for encryption, which is done by performing crypto key generate RSA, pressing enter, and we are going to be prompted that the default key length is 512. Do you want to change it? If you want to change it, the increment is 512. I created a key length of 1024, which is 512 plus 512. Those are the prerequisites for this activity. But our objective is to create IPv4 extended named access control list to allow PC1A to establish Telnet connection and to allow PC1B to establish SSH connection with router 1. So we go to global configuration mode and we create the access control list with this command IP access -list. If we want to create a named IPv4 access control list, we have to start it with this keyword. And then after that, we have to indicate whether it is extended or standard. We want to create extended, so we say extended. The difference between extended and standard is following. Standard only filters based on source IP address. Extended filters based on source and destination IP address, based on source and destination port address, based on source and destination protocol that is being used. So extended is going to give us what we need for this configuration, because we are dealing with SSH and Telnet protocols and they are using different ports. So IP space access -list space extended, then we have to give it a name. I'm going to call it remote access. Then I need to add the commands. I'm going to permit TCP host the IP address of IPv4 address of PC1A, which is 192.168.1.1, to access any destination. For any destination, I can just use the keyword any, as long as the communication is related to Telnet. Instead of the word Telnet, I could put the port number associated with Telnet, which is 23. So this command allows the host with the IP address of 192.168.1, which is PC1A in our case, to establish a Telnet connection to any destination device. Then I'm going to allow host B to establish SSH connection with any destination device with permit TCP host. I have to put IPv4 address of PC1B, which is 192.168.1.2, accessing any destination as long as the communication is related to SSH. The port related to SSH is 22. That's it. The access control list commands that I need are just these two, because there is an implicit deny any at the end of access control list. I don't need to deny other hosts or other devices individually. All of them are going to be denied. I'm going to exit to global configuration mode, and I'm going to apply this access control list to line VTY. So I need to access line VTY 04, because there are 5 simultaneous connections possible to the router. Then I'm going to apply the access control list that we created to this line VTY with this command, access class, access-class. Then the name of the access control list that we created, remote access or MAC, and the direction of the packets. Packets are coming into the router, so it is in. And then I want to make sure that when hosts that are allowed to establish SSH or Telnet connection to this router be prompted to provide a username and a password. The username that I created, Bob, the password that I gave Bob, secret. In order to enforce that, I need to put login local in here. then press enter. That's it. Configuration is done. Let's go ahead and put it to test. We'll go to PC1A's command prompt. This PC is based on the access control list that we created, allowed to telnet to router 1, which one of its IPv4 addresses is 192.168.1.254. We are prompted for username. The user that created is Bob. We are prompted for his password. It is secret. When we type the password, we don't see it. So don't assume that you're doing something wrong. You don't see the password that you're typing. Just pay attention to type it correctly and then press enter. We access the router 1. We exit. Let's see if we can SSH to router 1 from PC1A. The command is SSH -L, lowercase l, L as in Larry, lowercase, then the username, then the IPv4 address of the destination device, in this case R1, in this case 192.168.1.254, connection refused, which should have been refused. We only allowed PC1A to telnet to router 1. So let's go to PC1B. PC1B, based on the access control list that we have configured, should be able to SSH to establish SSH connection with the router, but not telnet. Let's see if it can establish SSH connection with router 1. We are going to be only prompted with to provide the password because we've already provided the username. Password is secret. When we type it, we don't see it. Then we press enter. We have access router 1 from PC1B. Exit. Let's see if we can telnet to to router 1 from PC1B. 192.168.1.254. Connection refused, which is the way that we configured it. We only want PC1B be able to establish SSH and not telnet. Let's go to another PC and put this into test, PC2, and let's see if we can establish SSH connection with router 1. Connection refused. Let's see if we can telnet router 1 from this PC called PC2 54. Connection refused. So that's how you configure IPv4 access control list on router 1 to allow PC1A to establish SSH, to establish telnet connection with router 1 but not SSH, and to allow PC1B to establish SSH with router 1 but not telnet, and also preventing any other device from establishing either SSH or telnet with router 1. Now we want to configure our tool to prevent any SSH and telnet connection to it from any device. So we need to create extended named IPv4 access control list. We access command line of the router 2. We go to privilege mode, then global configuration mode. Then we create access control list. We are creating a named access control list. We want to create an extended, and we want to name it no remote access. We are going to deny TCP any to any, EQ 22 for SSH, and then deny TCP any EQ 23 for Telnet. Any means from any device to any destination. So SSH connection from any source device to any destination device is denied. Telnet connection from any source device to any destination device is denied. Then I'm going to exit to global configuration mode and then apply this access control list that I created to line BTY. So I go to line BTY 0 space 4 line, not live, line BTY 0 space 4, and then I go access class, the name of the access control list that I created, no remote access, in inward direction, login local. I don't even have to do this, but login local, I do it to demonstrate that this one is working. Let's put it to test. Let's go to PC1B. Before we do that, let me show you the IPv4 addressing of router 2 to show IP interface with two IPv4 addresses, 123.123.123.2 and 192.168.2.254. So I'll go to PC1A and try to telnet to 192.168.2.254, which is one of the IPv4 addresses of router 2. Connection refused. Let me see if I can SSH to it. SSH, too many S, 2S is good enough, dash lowercase l bob 192.168.2.254. Connection refused. Let me take this command with me. Let me go to PC1B, see if I can SSH to router 2. I cannot, but let me see if I can SSH to router 1. Yes, I can. Exit. Because we configured R14 to allow SSH connection from PC1B. Let's see if I can telnet to router 2, 192.168.2.254. Refused. Let me test it from PC2. First we test SSH. Refused. Then we test 192.168.2.254. We tested telnet connection to router 2. Refused. So nobody is going to be allowed to telnet to this router, none of these devices. If we perform the same configuration that we did on router 2 on router 3, we also make router 3 not accepting any remote connection, whether it is SSH or Telnet from any of the devices. We configured the two routers using extended named IPv4 access control lists. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video and you found it informative, please don't forget to recommend it to others who may be interested. Thank you.